So we are back to another session. This time, however, it will be a bit on the interesting side of things because I'm trying to do a bit something that is out of the ordinary for me, especially recently because I have not practiced what I'm about to do that much in recent times, let's just say, because I want to do some character turnarounds and explore some of those character turnarounds. They're not going to be just a character turnaround, just simply draw the front, left, and the back, but more of like the setting material that you see in anime, for example. It will be more something like that, where I might even add some character exploration, for example. And the important thing here is that I need to practice my shading, my my color for the character because I need to have like some sort of like colored version of whatever thing abomination that we are about to create. And yeah, some poses, some maybe like scenes, like putting them in action. It's like creating a rig in 3D and then posing your character and see if the rig works properly. That is the kind of thing that I want to make or create right here, something in that vein. And yeah, I am currently like trying to organize the thing that I got, which is like a small reference sheet that I have in front of me on the other screen. And yeah, I'm gonna start once we get this all together. I think it is fine enough. I'm gonna hit the save. I'm gonna save it somewhere where I can delete it later, probably. But I'm call it session character design, like concept art. Gotta save. So damn, the screen by the way looks like this because I've been I've been having some issues with it. So yeah, I was having some issues with the pen and the sensitivity and things not working well. So yeah, if you mess around with the settings and try to do everything that you can and things just not works, try to plug it and unplug it. Maybe twice. If it did not work the first time, unplug it and plug it again. It will definitely works. I don't know why I say works instead of work, but that is the cause of talking without a script in a foreign language. So let's do some cheeky little things. I haven't drawn, I think, for maybe 2 days or just one day because yesterday I was doing some color studies, so it was not drawing necessary. But yeah, I've been slacking. I used to draw every day, doing gesture drawings, even when I had an actual job where I used to like 12 hours of my day would be gone to that job. But I still will practice my principles, my basics. I will try to not slack on those because it is very important to have a steady and confident hand, especially when it comes to this stuff that we are going to do, which is line oriented. Last time I ever did like character designing was game oriented, and it was when I was learning photobashing and I was exploring that medium. And it is pretty easy, not gonna lie, compared to anime and compared to the designs that you have in here, which are based on lines and they have to be like pretty precise in comparison to other shit that just photobash the living hell out of it and call it a day. Not that there isn't a lot of things that you need to be thinking of while you're doing the photobashing, but compared to lines, things are a bit different, I should say. And I explored many different ways of doing this, especially the problem that I have with color. Because when I started with printing paper and a pencil. I'm calling it pencil because that is the shortcut for pencil and a lot of DAWs software for making music. So yeah, there's a guy that also on YouTube calls it pencil, so it kind of stuck with me. And I bought like a stack of printing paper and I just kept drawing. That is when I got serious, but previous to that, it was just paper and pen. That is all I practiced with. So, and I was broke, so there is only the uh, lines that I could practice, not necessarily shading. And if it was shading, it will be something like this. This is the type of shading that I will be doing. But obviously it is a pen, so it kind of comes pre-installed with it. The tilt, which we don't have right here, or I don't have. Maybe if you have like a more expensive Wacom tablet, maybe you would have that tilt in there, and you have a brush like this that is just a noise, just a soft brush with some noise on it, and when you do the tilt it will like change in like size, and will have something like this. You create like some sort of gradation. I will try to do something like that regardless. You see, even the pressure is fucked up in this tablet, so nothing beats the analog. But when it comes to just doing this and doing this, digital is obviously better, because you will not have spent a lot of money on markers, especially like Copic markers, I think they were called, the one that were used by a lot of artists for manga illustrations, for the cover or posters that they make and so on. But those were too expensive. Having a digital one is way better. I'm not saying that one is better than the other, definitely, but just my experience and what I had and how I grown up and was used in to just drawing pure lines, which is kind of a problem, because you have to unlearn a bunch of stuff that you have learned, that you just think of, like the process of thinking that you have need to change. So that is uh, that is a problem that I'm working on slowly but surely. I will try to I will try to solve. One of the games that I studied was, or the styles I should say, was the style of Team Fortress, and the new game that they have by Valve. I don't know what it was called, but it is like a 50s America mixed with steampunk. Uh, that game was great in terms of the visuals, not so much on the gameplay because I have not tried it, so can't talk about that. But in terms of the visuals and the simplicity, it was fantastic. And I think the thing that stands out to me is the low polish amount of detail that they have, and the use of gradients. Something similar to what they do in the Overwatch. Back when it looks good, now it looks pretty generic, I guess. Because back in the day, I think it was a bit more unique, especially in its visuals. And one thing that was very standoffish in there was the use of the gradient. I think that is the thing that I remember, at least from looking at the game art and art books and like the talks that they have, like the one that they did, I think, with ZBrush, was it? So yeah, it was pretty cool. But the other thing was the side of the gacha games, where they kind of add in a little bit too much detail in a lot of them. But rarely you find someone that actually just upgrades the style of anime just a tad bit. It's like anime, but just with few more details. Not too much, because not always because you could. That mean that you should. So just a bit more details added into it, so that it looks good. And one of those details was with the color, and like how they have a lot of accents in the colors that you think that they are a lot, but in the end they are not that much. And just because of the way that their space and so on, it's like a very complex and I don't know what to call it, like nuanced process of creating that art. And I don't know, I still need to study that, especially when it comes to colors, because the other stuff I can pick up on pretty quickly, I guess. But with colors, I get a bit confused. And yeah, that goes for both like coloring in terms of 2D and concept art, and doing textures in 3D, Blender or Substance Painter or something of that sort. I'm trying to like switch from the wrist to moving my whole arm, so I can have like decent lines. And yeah, once I fill up this page, I will move on to the rest. think that's enough. So, the game plan. What is the game plan? Think having somewhere to go before you launch is pretty nice measurement or a nice approach so you don't blow up on your way out. So, uh, how do I approach this? I need the references that I accumulated. Uh, so we have the first one, so I'm gonna make the first one just like this. Just a person, front, person to the side, person from the back. That is one. That is page one. Page two, it will be the face, straight up, the face from like an angle, and the base, the base, the face from like the back. He's like turning to look up at you, and the face from like someone is looking up, like yabai type of expression. And maybe we'll do like the face for the side view, even though that I don't think it matters that much, especially for perspectives like these. But in case we want to like make it into like 3D model ish in 3D, move to 3D, that will be important. And yeah, we have like six faces. Uh, so we have like six faces, six faces, and we have like call outs for accessories, hair, what else? Eyes. Anomalies is what I want to call it. Anomalies, I think that is written like eyes. So something like an iris that looks like this, that have like some sort of a star on it, like some sort of stars next to the actual iris itself. And obviously it got like, if this is the eye, this is the thing, it got like some sort of uh, shading going on here. No, not like that, like this, like some sort of shading and highlights and so on. What is the rest will be? Uh, I think it is important to have also call out in the first one. Like right here, we have some call outs for also accessories, but at the same time, maybe we want to have like the props right here for themselves. Like you have your sword and like the thing that you shoot in, and you have like the pouch like this. Clearly, you can see this is the thing that the sword rests in, and this is the pouch looking like this, like a flat view, and you have like the sword thing. Maybe it got like one sword, or it got two, or like the X like this, so it got like a flat view of that. And what else? What else do we have? Because it might be complex what we're doing, even though that I try to not to go that complex with it. But maybe we have like some sort of design. So we have like something like here, like a pattern. And the patterns might be like flowers like these. The Hawaiian shirt type shit. So maybe we have like patterns. Maybe we have I'm thinking instead of looking at the references. And the references don't seem to be mentioning a lot of stuff. So they're all pretty much the same. So maybe like that is a clear one, but if a character is wearing something like there is this is like a skirt type thing going on here, they will have like something like this, having like shorts below the skirt in case of the character like did some movement like this, for example, where the skirt will be going up, for example. uh, you need to show that she is wearing uh, that thing below. It's like that thing they do in like idol, not idol, but cosplays in conventions and stuff. They wear stuff like this, and in fighting games they do have this thing on always because of freaks and because of like age restrictions and so on. So this thing is pretty important, but it can be anything. It can be like those styles of dresses. Like let's say there is this thing right here, like pretty. I don't know. Let's make it like this. So there is this thing going on right here. This is the shoulders, but there is, as you can see, like some faintness of a shirt or whatever it is uh, up here going on, and this is like a transparent shirt on top of like the thing, or it might be like it have this is like too basic. It's almost like that thing that they do a lot in Naruto, which is just cross-hatching. But if it's something like this that you have like an actual pattern that needs to be followed, I'm trying to just draw like a generic Voronoi pattern, but this is hard to draw, so it needs to be boiled down to something that can be drawn pretty easily. Maybe like if you do the cross hatching like Naruto style, but then you curve them a bit. Maybe. But this the kind of callouts are very important. Basically, we're trying to create how to draw. And once we have the colors, the turnaround here, we have the heads right here. Trying to see if there is I am missing something, but I don't know what the fuck exactly am I missing. Yeah, this is all. This is about all there is to it. What I'm thinking of this is just not just do the head looking around, but maybe we can split it to have like both one we have like heads, just heads with like perspective, and one of them is just for uh, expressions. But that will be creating too much shit. And a lot of them I saw that they use just the head in perspective in addition to some sort of expression. With like this one being dull and the rest of them like having different expressions on them. So yeah, this one, this fourth one is about to be like situations. And this I think is the most difficult one because we have to impose a character on the character that we're drawing, where we're giving the personality and so on. Uh, Sitting down like this, like with your legs like this, is not like sitting down like this. For example, legs spread, or like with attitude, like this, with your legs up, like this, or with your legs like this, crossed like this, not like this. Hold on, this one going here, and this one going there, crossed like that. Those are different, and there is also like the weird autistic ways of sitting, like this, having a leg below, not above, or doing the L pose, where he sits like this, or doing one that is like this. There are many ways, so each one of them is for a specific personality, and things of that sort. In addition to expressions, so we need to have like something that is not rendered fully, but showcases the expression of the character turning around, saying something. Let's say that we render the nose like this. And what's going on with the hair? I don't know. If it's something like this, exclamation mark, slight kind of showcase of expression right here. And yeah, and then we have like all of the sort of like rendering stuff. with like the eye or like the the shadows right here. Maybe this thing will be like this type of like small shadow for like the eye thing. This one right here, if we try to keep it like minimum below the hair. And yeah, and also we showcasing like how many do we draw here in terms of like the hair shanks. Here there are two of them, and let's say I try to replicate this. So with the triangulish shape, with here like being sharp, and other side is smooth-ish, while doing this little bit of turn to show like perspective and so on. So this is the kind of thing. And also in this one, it needs to show the personality and character. So yeah, we have a lot to do, and I'm kind of scared to start, but we're gonna start regardless. I'm gonna move this stuff, move it out of the way, move it up here, and let's start with our shenanigans. I don't know which character to start with, so you know what? I'm gonna draw myself. So I already have like, I think this is the best way to go about it. I'm gonna draw just myself, which like I get like this persona character, avatar, whatever you wanna call it. I am wearing the glasses and I'm wearing the bandana right now to like get my head together. This is pretty simplified one that I draw, like a loose shirt, even though that right now I am shirtless, and shorts and sandals. This is a pretty chill guy, and I have drawn him in various amount of shapes and poses and so on, like that thing in the back. In this character, it can be drawn in whatever pose I want him to be, like something like this, what I want him to be like. Basically, he's a goofier version of an easier version to draw from the version that I created the first time. Because look at the legs. The legs are basically just like this, and they are noodles. So it is easy to draw. So those are the type of things that we're gonna do. But we're gonna draw them like seriously, which will make the face from this shape to more of this shape-ish. I'm thinking of like what will be like a decent one. Because of simplification, I have here in front of me like some actual concept art of characters that are pretty detailed and painted and so on, and they're not made for anime, but I want to make them for anime, so I would have to do some simplifications, both for the shapes, the colors, the shading, and so on. So we have this character as a test because it is something that I'm more familiar with. For example, how I simplified the beard to just this instead of just like making it actually like this beard, which if you look at this, you will not think that this guy is in his 20s. Will you think that this guy is in his 20s or will you not? Especially if we have like the hair also looking like this, like very hairy. Does this look like 20s? No. But when you remove that hair and when you just symbolically add it in, even this one I think should be removed to like keep the silhouette simple. This is not the right way of drawing it because when you do it like this, it means that the character is regular. Meanwhile, this is the posture of the character that I want to create. It is someone that stands like this, have like arms like that, and yeah, it's like that weird like doctor trope that they have. with like the genius Hakase will look like this. So if we want to draw it in perspective, I think it will be something like this if we look at it from the front, and something like this. So that way it is better, but we're just testing here. We have obviously, since this is a pretty detailed one, you see like this small detail on the glasses before we draw them on top like this, and there are no like things for like facial expressions and so on. To raise this up a bit. Here it is pretty important because you cannot just do this, maybe when sketching and stuff, but creating an actual design for it will require it to have like 1 2 3 or 1 1 2 and then 4 on the other side, like have like 1 2 and then 1 2 3 4 like this on the side, and then coming back to the bandana. So that is the what I'm thinking of. So yeah, but we need an actual turnaround for him. So I don't know which I'm gonna go with in terms of the clothing, but something like this is draping. Maybe this t-shirt below. This is what we were talking about before. So for this example, we need to have him with the coat and without the coat. So we can see like the design below. So the back is very important also, even though I don't think it is necessary. But think of like an outsider trying to draw your stuff to have an idea on like how it actually look like. So I'm changing obviously like the way that these ribbons look like, just to show in case like if it's drawn on the back. And here in the back, I don't know, it's very simple, so I might add in like that thing that some of coats have, like this, like the one that you might find on like the back of a tuxedo suit, I think, or whatever that suit was called. Or maybe it will have like some sort of logo thing that have something of some sort drawn on it, or whatever, some sort of logo thing. I'm thinking of just keeping it like a lab coat. So we have this going on, and this is pretty important. If I can do this to all of the character designs that I have on the other screen, if I can do this to them, I think we're done. But simplifying characters to this degree is pretty difficult. I'm doing this because I'm familiar with this character that I was creating, and I understand it. So to be able to do this for random stuff, it is pretty interesting. Now for the facial expressions, what will they look like? Because one of the things that I had in mind, for example, when I was creating this goofier version of him, is to have him like be like this, like have the glasses do the facial expressions, as you can see, and it will look like it belongs. These are like the glasses extending, and this thing like this ahoge that they have on like stupid characters will be also like that. So you have this type of facial expression going on if you want to like express with that, or when you like call out like a character, for example, someone calling him from the back, that thing that you see like this when character get uh, surprised or jolted, we add it to the silhouette of the thing, and maybe we'll make these like pretty jagged with like this thing. It looks like a phallic object, but I swear it is not. And also, these things on the back, they stiffened. So these are the type of hold on the hair. These are the type of expression that I have for this little guy version of them, the little one. But for the other one, the bigger one, we actually need to be good. So we need to get good with this one. And yeah, and I think I can handle this, even though that I don't practice my exercise, my expressions as I should do, like having regular periods where I do exercises on facial expressions and so on. Like I know about the the T-shaped version where you have like these characters like I don't know how the fuck did this shit used to work, but if you have someone that is like this might be like a surprise face. I don't know how the fuck does this applied, but if you have something like this, that is that is an angry face. I don't know how the fuck that T-shaped thing worked, but it was something like this. Maybe surprise would be something like this. This looks more like a wondering face, wondering about something. Anywho, we're gonna try to draw something that is pretty serious. So, facial expressions, what should we have? I think we should have like blank. Since this is like a professor type of character, like a nerd, we need to have like a sort of expression for when they nerd slash otaku talk. Like having the mouth go this way when he speaks, like with the hand up, with the actually type of thing. Maybe we change it even like uh, for the sake of like the joke, we'll change it to this and this when he even if like the mouth normally will open up to something like this. This is too detailed, but if it opens to something like that or something like this, just this the tongue below and the teeth will change it to showcase just those two teeth. And I think it will be like the actually joke. I think it will work well with that. Damn, he looks like a fucking neckbeard when I add the beard back in. I think this is one of them, an important one, in addition to the blank one. And we have the expression of being like, there is the happy one, there is sad, there is surprised. What else? Happy, sad, surprised, angry. Let's try to work with like the opposites. Sad versus happy, angry versus. I think both of like the verses of these is like calm or more like zen. Because this is again like a comedic thing. I created this character mainly to be able to create YouTube videos. like the animatics or uh, YouTube animations, but a bit more quality added into them to have something a bit more quality. So, but at the same time, to be cheap in terms of production, that I can produce like within a reasonable time limit. So it is pretty comedic in a way that I present it, even if it's serious, but I still got like that goofiness into it. So the Zen will be also like this thing where it is, uh, uh, I don't know, calm, calm in a weird way. It's like having like this type of expression on a character, and the character like melts. Maybe something like this, but I'm thinking of the what do you call that? The face thing that I talked about. This one. This looks the worst way. It looks like a smug face, not like the. Hold on, if we put him in a pose, for example, it looks weird, but I know what I need. I just don't know how to achieve that. I'm gonna look for something in my pins on Pinterest. I have a facial expression one that I hope I have something interesting in there, even though that this might sound small, but I think it is very important on the grand scheme of things, especially if we want to create like interesting uh, sheets or setting material for the other characters. And this is the blueprint basically. I don't know if I can find my expression here. It seems that it is nowhere to be found, other than, I don't know, maybe changing this from like this type of expression to this one. I think this will work, but we need to convert that into our stupid design. So if we have it like this, but we play with the idea of doing this to the glasses, for example, like I think this will work, but this will also give us the idea of fucking around with the glasses. Maybe not like to a goofier version like this, because this is leaning too much into the cartoony side of things. But yeah, maybe like the surprised version or like the floored version, like you said something stupid, like say that again type of expression will be something like this. What do we have? Like, you know that then when they like suck their lips in, like the bottom one, and like it's not in an angry way, but this is obviously like followed by like blinks. So either this or like a more shorter one like this, or like just straight up like just this, like switching between like these uh, two frames, ping pong in between them. Maybe the lip should be out like this. This is more of a I don't know about that than like actually being floored. Like what the fuck? The mouth I think is what controls this facial expression. You can do something like this, but it looks like a butthole. but it is the facial expression that we're trying to go for. Any more crosses will make it look more like an asshole. So we're gonna we're gonna refrain from that. This plus some sort of like sound effects I think will work. What else can we do with this? Let's take a look at the facial expression thing. I have shit that ranges from like cartoony to realistic facial expressions, but the challenge here is with the weird character that we got, or other weirder ones that we might get. I am in a bit of you know what? I just found like something that might be a good reference to base things on. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So look at this. I think this is like Grandia or Sky Pirates. It's one of those games. As you can see, like if all of the characters within this game have all of these expressions, that means I think this is a good thing to reference if all of the characters are going to be expressing themselves and what they feel using only this um, limited palette, let's just call it. The main character have a lot of, or the main girl, waifu, I guess, but I think it is obvious for her to have all of those facial expressions. That is because she is the selling point, I guess. I'm trying to find something else, but I'm failing at finding anything. I found this one, I saw this one that reminded me of like when character gets confused and they have like something like their heads over here, like their heads is tilted. Maybe this is too much. Maybe it is too much, but maybe if we have like the head goes up and we have something like this. and these like keep going around. Maybe with some birds. Or like these kind of things, particles coming out of his head in terms of expressing the confusion. Doing this with the glasses, I think, will be better also. Having them being asymmetric and having the thing that we draw inside of them. Maybe this will work. Maybe it will not. Who knows? But this is more of a drunk than actual confusion. We keep hitting all of the wrong notes, but I think we will know once we get to the real characters, not just ones that we conceptualize from the ground up. Because working with someone else's characters, I think we have a lot of the ground stuff done already. So yeah, I think the eyes are pretty important one, but we are completely omitting them from our design right here. So yeah, maybe the next one, which we take after I don't know, like half an hour now that I've been talking. I think it's time to move on to the real deal. There is no excuses, no other time for like dilly dallying. I'm gonna take a sip of tea and then we're gonna start. I guess drawing the characters was, or drawing my stupid character was the real warm up. Even though that I did, Jesus Christ Almighty. You see where my thought process stops. So with this one, what are we thinking about the shading? Ay ay ay. We need to know this, trust me, before we embark on the journey. Because let's say this is the character. We have the shadow hitting his face from this side, and obviously this side is in shadow. So how do we go about doing this? Well, there are many ways, and trust me when I say many ways. The best one, the one that I like, according to the description or the use of my character, to try to be in like something that is very quick to do and to create, is just something like this, where you have just two types of shading. One on the neck, maybe the ear if we feel bougie, maybe some of the detail on the thing on the back, and the hair does have nothing. Additional thing is maybe we highlight some of the edges of our thing, and that's about that. Maybe, even though I don't think I want the hair to have any sort of like quirky things like this in terms of the shadow, but maybe the edge will have a different color. So that is all about the shading. But the character might be actually, and this is like the art of, I don't know, simplification. It is a pretty difficult one, might I add. So we have this one. We have like this one. It looks like this. That looks more than that actually if we want to detail it. But the shape that I draw do not require all of that detail, but it can be something like this, for example. And this is for the side of the nose. The glasses obviously will cast some shadow, and these ones also will have some shadow in addition to the side of the face. So for example, let's detail this one. And then the side of the face obviously is going to look like that. And then the mouth below it is going to be some shape. So we'll merge all of this like that. Let's put all of this in shadow. Some shadow here, some shadow there. Some folding stuff. The hair also will have like some shade on top of it to like show the strings of the hair. These things might be like actual like a switch in between like convex and concave shapes. As you see in areas like this shadow fights with this shadow, so it is better to think of it like threshold effect, where only the necessary one will last or is supposed to be there. So we have something like this. Imagine something like this for like 15-minute video. Can this be pulled off by a single motherfucker? I don't think so. And speaking of that, I think there is an additional thing that we should consider for our sheets of drawing, because the character can be maybe shaded like this if they're very close to the camera, if they're very close, or shaded like the other way if they're far, because the character might be just occupying like a couple of pixels and the character might be far away, so you'll have to draw him like this. The hair is exaggerated, but the character is far away, so you have to do so. These are called LODs, or levels of detail. This is a term used in gaming mostly, but you have something similar to this in terms of how you shade your character and how you draw them in anime also. So this might be something that you would like to add, but I'm not gonna do that. So I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna do the last thing, which is color. Obviously, I saw that it will be better if I have something that is saturated on the face, not that, please, the other one. Something saturated on the face like this. This is a bit too much. That is also too much. That is too much. Maybe some yellowish. This might look like too much, but it is what it is. Then we have like the skin color. I like the skin to be like a bit warmish, not like the ones that they use, which is like this. Where the fuck can you go above this in terms of the highlights and other effects? So, no, go back. So we have this for the skin. We have something like this for the things. So we have these being too saturated, we have this being too saturated, so, or being too bright. So maybe we'll bring this down a bit. Shine, because I want them to be like comically shiny. So if the character is something like this, you will see the glasses being like that. I like this type of style that doesn't have any edges to it. It's pretty cool. I don't know how to do it properly. What are we doing with the hair? Maybe this. I forgot which color I used last time. I wanted to be a bit more dark. A lot more dark. Maybe something like that. You see how these two contrast with each other? So you see how the like I'm trying to convey this with this right here. So yeah, maybe I am solid on choosing colors, but we can never say that because this is only the fucking face. So I'm gonna pack all of this and call it like initiation or initiate or the first thing ever that we tried. Now it is time for the proper failures. Let's go. Uh, you know what? Let's start with characters like these, since they are very simple looking, so we can get the hangs of things, and then we'll move on to something that looks like this. Look at the hands. This is this is absurd. Maybe something like this one. This one I think looks cool. What do we have here? The only challenge I think is with this one because she got a normal women body, like the casual one that you see in basically everywhere. This is the only challenge is how do you break these into layers? What the fuck is this shit? Armor on top of the armor? There is a challenge, not gonna lie. But it is worthwhile. Um, what else do I have here that can be used as a simplistic thing? I think I should have done this earlier, which is like separate them by simplicity. Here is this one. This one is pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's by Tara or something like that. I think he calls himself a goated Korean concept artist. This one. Maybe we'll do something like this. This character seems simple, but let's try the simplistic characters first because I learned from my process of trying to pick up um, music and programming that you should be humble and not overestimate or oversell yourself. So I'm humbling myself and I'm starting with the most simplistic shit out there. I'm looking at the design. The first thing that stands out is the head. The head is a circle. So the body looks around its size, so I'm gonna add another circle. And the legs looks like its size, so I'm gonna add another circle. Legs are bigger than the body, so maybe this. And there is that thing on top of the head, since this is like a cartoony-ish design, maybe. I don't know if I should put like the design like this over here, but I guess you should trust me on what I'm saying. I don't want to clutter the view too much. I like to have it like as empty as possible. But since it have that thing, think of it like the Mickey Mouse ears, how they look like Mickey Mouse even from the side. So, hello? I don't know why I keep doing that, but uh, we have that. We have like the eyebrows. I don't know if the mouth should be like that or should be just something that is. We have like the beard thing. We have this is pretty interesting. Like here on the separation, we have a sort of line going on there, and the body is smaller-ish than the. I'm gonna have it like doing this, holding the belt, and yeah, the other hand is doing this. This is pretty big one, so maybe I will do this. this is also like the original one have only this thing, not all of this shit that I have just drawn. So there is part of style going on. So I don't know if I should stick to it or change it a bit. And I think I might go with changing it. Try to go with something that I'm more comfortable with drawing. I think this is good enough. This is too stoic, but maybe from this he can go to having a mouth that have individual teeth like that is pretty nuts, especially for an anime style thing, which is I think I should stick to. So he have like 5 teeth on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, and the fourth one is small. So they are going like this. And the last one is like that. And I'm sure it is not just perspective. With the second one on one side being golden. So I don't know if I should do this, but and since I have only one view, I can only presume what the rest will be. Since we have this tie right here, this can be two things. It can be like this thing that looks like this. If you watched Naruto, you must have seen this too much. So it either can be like this, or it can be just a simple tied up thing like this. So which one will it be? Well, I'll give him a cute one. It will be interesting for an anime, but also, what if we got a game on our hands? Think about it. Yes, maybe a little bit of belly. Does he have a belly? He doesn't have a belly. The belly is covered with this thing. So this is the chest. Ears, no ears. The other eyebrow coming from the side right there. Showing the thing. Maybe we'll show like that bumpiness that he have. Reinforce it here. Which this bumpiness also can be something. Let me show you real quick. Hold on, let me finish this. First of all, maybe we'll keep it like that. It doesn't have that dimension, so maybe we'll keep it like that. So let me show you what I mean by this, because depending on the depth of it, because from the perspective or the reference that I see, because this is drawn like a sphere, the lines are only on top like this. Imagine it like a bun of like hair here on the back. Maybe we'll have like something like this, like piece of hair. So it is all like this, and it's not like uh, a rougher hair. I forgot like what it was, like A or B or maybe D type of hair, like the Afro hair, where it got a lot of volume to it. The opposite of the Asian hair, which is like very flat and doesn't have volume. It sticks to the, what do you call that? The surface on top of it. It just follows that contour of it. This one have a bumpiness. It's like adding like a displacement map on top of a 3D plane. It bumps it a bit, so it gets something more like this. If we have like this is a clump of hair and this is another one, this is another one, it will add that bumpiness. So this affects the silhouette. But the other one, since it does not affect the silhouette, if we want to shade it, maybe we don't need even the lines, because the lines imply that there is ambient occlusion. Ambient occlusion is the two bodies next to each other, like doing peace signs like this. But you will find this blackness between your fingers because the light doesn't reach there, doesn't bounce enough to reach there. So there's that local shadow, or ambient occlusion it is called. But if you're separating your fingers like this, you will see that blackness disappears. Or if you do that slowly, you will see that it disappears slowly. The closer they are to each other, the more shadow they cast on each other, just by correlation, association, being next to each other. So that's the thing. Do we draw them like this, or make sure that this is the right layer and this is the right size, or we just do something, not this, stupid son of a bitch, do something like this, just hint at the thing. And even that, because we don't imply this in the silhouette, so maybe we need to change the silhouette a bit. This is the pickle. This is what we do. These type of exercises, I guess. But silhouette need to be changed. So maybe the head. Where is the head? The head, instead of being drawn like this, we have that and we have this. Maybe this separation is good, to have just some slight bumpiness into it. But again, if we do this, we're gonna deviate a lot from the original design, and think of it as animation. It will be too much to draw over and over again. And how do you judge these? The way that I split it right now, you can see like there's the mouth over here, like you have a circle. This is the center, supposedly the nose. This is the eyes. You trace them and you find your first one. You draw a triangle from here, based on what? I don't know, but maybe the mouth. And you will find the other one, and you mirror this one, you find the other one, and you just trace the line. So you'll get something like these. Doing this will work because we get like a method so that we always will get it. What kind of circle is this? So doing it again, we get like where the nose supposedly is, eyebrows. So this is the center, so we get one. This is the other one. Damn, how does it work now in perspective? It does not work with perspective. Or cartoony art style again. Since it is cartoony, we'll just keep it the fucking same. and no one will notice. But you see this? This is too much. I guess we'll keep it just as it is. Maybe, maybe, just maybe. I'm drawing on the shading layer. That's good because we can delete the whole shit. But it is. What is it? Maybe we can do this. Does this look good? Better than this? Having it all be the same? What will make it even better if we add in some deeper shadow to it. But even so, because the shape, if you look at this, because it's not perfect, it looks good. And adding a deeper shadow or another layer of shadow or shade is also another layer of animation, of problems, of more work to do down the pipeline, because this is a process. And yeah, if we don't get it good at the beginning, it will be a bit of troublesome ride for everyone, not just for the character designer. I want to say because the character designer doesn't have things to do, but yeah, in anime you will design the characters and animate them and storyboard and do the layout and get fucked in the process. Why not? And not get paid for all of that. Beautiful industry, ain't it? So we get the legs, we get the puffiness, and that's about it. We need a back one. So again, 3 circles. This one here. I guess this one where we should show the thing, how it looks like. And then it does this. And then it does la, la. This isn't it. Because it will show from the front. And the front doesn't show anything, as you can see. So maybe again it will be like those things that you have to support your back, something like what Zoro had in his earlier design. I think when he first showed up and the pre-time skip, he had this design. So maybe we'll keep it just like that, so we don't add any tomfoolery that is not needed. Around the legs. Maybe we'll put this in a higher point. Do we add some texture to it? I don't think it needs any because the original doesn't seem to have any sort of textures and things going on it. I'm doing this because there's no clear connection point in the reference. And this makes it like he's wearing a mask, so yeah, we have the prop. I guess there is just one prop. That is the this jug that he has on his side. So drawing it will be easy. Just something like this. Like the Zelda stuff. It got this thing on it. This is the lid. That is have this connector thing. This is just an image showing how it does connect, even though that it doesn't show in a reference, but in case we need it. Since this is the side of this thing right here, we only show this, maybe a little bit of the other one, adding some perspective, because we're feeling a bit bougie today. And then we have the stripe, and this stripe will be something like this. It got three of them, uh, three of those, and they're connected to each other, so they need to be something like that, just faintly having that shadow between them. And I guess that's about it. I think we should move on to the, what was it, the facial expressions, or posing them in situations. So this seems like a merchant, big eyebrows, smiling. So maybe he's selling stuff. So put him in a pose like this. It's just, yeah, it is similar to the smile. This is the unique teeth or tooth. What does he sell? I don't know. This is like extended arm. This one he hits, like he taps his thing. Or does it do it? Hold on, I'm gonna reenact these. So I slapped my knee, but the other arm, if I slap the other knee or thigh, it will not be as much. So if you just, this one will be silly, but this one is good, and the arm will do like something like this. Uh, welcome. Erashai meterashai, as they say in Japan. What does he sell? He had like this corn looking thing to have a bit of highlight here and some shadow. Maybe we'll have like that, just that. We have some sacks of them laying around. Some of them are closed, and these show the insides, like how many things they are. We'll have his bottle next to him. I think these are supposed to be like some sort of currency, if I'm not mistaken, because they look similar in shading to what his mouth looks like, but not a label like that, but like the old ones that just have writing on them. We have some also on this side. I don't know if the carpet should have some design that goes like this, something that goes like this, maybe with something inside, but this will be too much. I guess we should go with just, you know what, just keep it plain, like poor, very old stuff. So, what else can we do with the character? We can give him like the greedy look of like the mask salesman, or like where they have their hands together like that. Maybe the head tilted, the kitsune eyes. They usually have their sentences ending with the answer. Should we close the legs, something like this? But this looks like he's holding a piss. Or maybe, yeah, if we bend them like this, they look better. So we put the thing on top. But this is outside of the character that we saw. A facial expression idea that I had is maybe since he's always closing his eyes, maybe we can have a moment when he does open his eyes. And they look pretty menacing. Something like this. I think we picked up the wrong character to start with. Even this one we have troubles with because the limitations of what we can do with him. We don't seem to get a single W in here. But we can keep going. Let's jump to the 3D. 3D. What the fuck am I saying? Let's jump to the shading and see what we can do with this. I guess I should do the proper shit and just pick this one up. What is this? Duplicate it. Let's do a finished job on this one. And then we may use these as the reference for the rest. Giving them shapes instead of just leaving them random, I think, is better. These things are weird and they look unnecessary, but the original designer had them, so we're gonna try to keep them. I sketched it in a bad way. I think the arm is supposed to be like this, I suppose. I'm gonna ignore this jug pot that he has and leave it into another call out sheet that will have this thing individually. So I guess the feet will look something like this, according to the reference of the original one. It looked much worse than the actual reference or the sketch. As you can see, the arms are pretty rough there, and there is still a lot to, I guess, boil down to the what the actual version is supposed to look like, but we're still not done yet. We're still experimenting with this shit. Um, the shading does seem like pretty much minimalistic. The goatee doesn't seem to have any shadows, so we're gonna leave it like this. The arms, they do have a bit of shadow on them. This thing doesn't have anything on it, except this. Um, this should be in shadow. But I will take the creative liberty to do that. I guess that's about it for the shading. If we do something like this, it looks worse. It looks worse. Um, what else? The pants look a bit bigger than the ones in the reference, so I guess some proportional addition there. But yeah, let's see the colors. I need to pick those like in a precise way. It looks a bit pale in the reference, so maybe something like that. You need even like a background to stand against. If we do this, I don't know which color is that rope. Not this, most definitely. This one looks like it. I don't know what the rest is. The rest is confusing, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna do a side by side once I finish this one, but once we finish this, then we can talk. As I do this, I don't know what to call it, humiliation ritual, I guess, showing how bad I am. I'm thinking of like how good it is to keep on practicing. As much as hate as daily practice gets, it does do the job. At least you will not get this rusty when you try to create stuff, especially when it comes to drawing stuff like this. You will not get that much rusty, I guess. But it is what it is. Life happens. Shit always do go south. So yeah, we learn to roll with the punches, and I hope I can come back because this ain't it. I don't know if we should color this black, but this will be felt black regardless. So now I think there is a difference between this screen and the one above, but I don't want to do anything. It shows like the parameters for PRF, but let's do this something like. So I guess I know where the problem is. This is too like pastel colors. Yeah, I guess that's about it. I'm sick of this character. I guess I should move on to another one. After taking a break, I'm gonna take on something that I can deal with. A more like humanoid looking character will be better. So, yeah, see you after the break. So, we are back. I'm gonna remove this disgusting putrid shit out of the view. I had like a 5 minute break. I I got hydrated a bit, and yeah, we're gonna get back to it. I felt ashamed, to be honest. I was reflecting on the past as I was taking a piss, and yeah, this is not it. This is not it. So that is why we're going to be doing something else, something a bit more in line on what the fuck I want to do actually, which is where's the design? Here's the design. I'm gonna try to do that, and yeah, this is pretty standard game design. Where you have just you have like the thing of like having the lower base. It's like this. The character is like that. Think of it like a Dio pose, where they have the leg like this. So they're like laughing their ass off. So you have a pose like that, or sorry, not a pose, but a design that is bottom heavy. So if the character is looking like this, the bottom will have quite a lot of thing going on there, not just with the shape of it being obviously bigger than the top half, but also in terms of the details and in terms of the or in terms of the colors. So there seems to be a lot of stuff in here. So yeah, here there is just a bra and some like those bodish things. Arm have an accessory thing. Uh, her ears got the thing. She have also an ahoge top of her head. What the fuck is going on with her hair? She seems to have like a short hair thing going on there, with like something like this. More, even more. So there seems to be like this thing, and then below it, there is, I don't know if it's just one braid going like this. But I guess from the side, if we want to look at it from the side view, it would be something like this is the hair, the ear obviously showing off, so the hair is going to be something like this. So this is the hair, but I don't know, because realistically, if we want to add in that braid, it will be like out here, and it will be going down. So I guess I should copy this and put it next to me over here, so we can look at it better and break it down in a better way. And I did not start a timer, but I want to speed run this and try to get as much of it as possible, as quickly as possible. Gonna hide that. Guess we want to go back to it, and let's dissect this. So I don't think the brush is any good. We're just working with the default because I don't know, honestly, they're good. So hold on, let's start from the top going down. So this is the braid that I talked about. So from the side view, they don't seem like they have like something going on right here with the hair that will be tied down in the back, or from the back it's like this, merging here to start creating the braid. So none of that exists. How the fuck does this the functionality of this works? So we don't know, and we'll never know, I guess. But we're gonna figure out something. We might even modify this shit. But also at the same time, if we add in this thing right here going there, and you have this, and then the ahoge, I think it is a bit too much. But who am I to say? My job is to just turn this into an actual design. So I have this thing, which I think is something like this, as far as it looks right here. And this thing right here, as it's folded, it's connected to the other one right there. The other one is just this. So is the back one if this is, these are her cheeks, is the back one like this, like two of them going down, or just one continuous one? We do not know, but I guess we'll keep it just a continuous one. uh, this is very sketchy, so we have a lot of work to do right here. Fuck. I guess let's start with the bottom up. So we have like the cargo pants. Cargo pants are easy to draw, easy to understand. So we have like cargo pants, something like this. So they're folded quite a bit. Maybe they're oversized. They have some things below. So since this is pretty, you see what I did there? Pretty, what do you call it? Pretty rough. Might add in a bit of design, like having like those things that look. I forgot how they look. They look something like this, like having this thing, so you can adjust the like the hoodie or whatever it is that they have in them. So they have that on the side of this. I guess we should split it like that. This thing will have folds. So pretty cool now that we're breaking it down like this. Yes. So 3 folds, pretty decent. And these connections are pretty like the seams. The seams between them. So we have seams between them. And maybe we'll have this like being another material. So we'll have like something like the windbreaker with like the corners we add in like these types of things. And when it comes to folds, maybe we'll add in like a bit few more folds at the edges. How about that? And then we have the seams that we can do just simply like that. And at the end we add in something like this, maybe. So that's pretty cool. So that is done. This one is, I don't know if we should keep them like that because that is too fucking much. We'll keep them like that. Fuck that. We're keeping them. This then might be like below this layer, so it will be on this. This looks like a chain going up, so we're gonna have 2 things. I forgot how they. No, I think I remember. I remember the math or the engineering behind it. This thing that opens up when you push this thing back, like this, and you have the hook over here. No, it's the opposite thing. Over here. So you have opened it. It's the thing that you find a lot in the keychains. And we're gonna use this as a way to connect the thing. And here we will have this right here, and then there's the rest of the chains that if we want to keep that same shape, we'll do like this. This is like the profile of how that thing will look like, something like this. To keep on like the theme of the edginess, like these demonic shit in this thing right here and so on. What else do we have? So we have that thing, that chain. Okay, so we're breaking it down now. That is what we're doing. We're breaking it down. I sound like that diesel Washington. That's what we're doing. We're breaking it down. So let's break it down some more. This is just a piece of cloth. Piece of cloth that goes like this from the front. Pretty cloth or silk goes like that from the back. It is something like that. From the back and from the side is where the interest is, because these balls, I don't know if they are connected to these things or they are just standalone decorations. They look like they're standalone, and we're gonna treat them as if they were standalone. So that will make this as so her crouch is over here and this shit is over there. So So like this, maybe with the cargo pants being that big. We have 3 points. We have this one in the back, this one, and this one on the cargo pants. Here it is tied. It is a tie, so it is something like this. Where the fuck do these connect? Do they connect to the same thing? To like points, other points that they have below? Or are they just standing there? So I guess we have one of those there, and it goes down to one of them here that will do this. And yeah, I'm calling the shots over here, so this is what we're doing. And obviously, I think I fucked up somewhere. No, I don't think I did. So where does that go? That go from there to there. And what the fuck? What the fuck? It goes something like this, I guess. And this one goes below it. So we have this one on top going like that to the other hole, and this one goes like that to the other hole, and then they converge back here. This is the best thing that I could come up with. And this doesn't make any sense being here, but fuck it, we're balling. And the balls, how do we solve the balls problem? Being just there for decoration, I guess. We'll solve the balls later. And this thing, demonic face, is pretty easy. Uh, this thing goes like this. I guess there is decoration that's supposed to be there, in addition to the stripe being a bunch of circles. What else? What else do we have? That is the or not. Maybe they are like this. In case we have close-ups. Roughly how the eyes will look like. We need some also triangulish, and they have like a circle thing like that. And that shape. So yeah, the horn, and then there is the problem with the fucking hair. Let's go with the legs first. As you can see, it's reptile-ish. We're 15 minutes in. We have not drawn a single fucking perspective of this character. But these breakdowns are pretty important, so to hell with it all. So we got that down. Now we need to make sense of the hair. Ay ay ay. So we have this. We have this thing in the back. We have these things on the side. We have all of this. So how the fuck do we proceed from here? I don't know. So maybe we'll do this. So this is the face. The face is also something that I need to practice. I can't neither draw a realistic one nor an anime one right now. That is how fucked up I became. That is how rusty I have gotten. But we'll get through this. We'll get through this somehow. So this is the face. So this is the face. So we got this piece right here. I'm not gonna draw the horns, but we understand that they're there. Or we fuck them. So these things that are pulled to the back. Alright? So we have a thing that goes here, and there is the rest. There is all of the rest. It goes all the way like down. This way. Same thing goes here. Where these things also go down all the way, and they go to the back. So this is tucked behind the ear, this is tucked behind the horns. We cannot forget about the ahoge going up there. But what is this mysterious fucking braid doing here? Unless this is a tail. Can it be a tail? I don't think it can be a tail. I think it's a piece of hair. If it goes all the way up to her back, how can we explain that? It cannot be explained. Fuck that shit. I'm not gonna explain it. Since this is pulled back right this way, we might pull something off. Pull it off like that. Pull this off to this side like that. Leave some hair to go down. Maybe this one will come from here, from the top. This piece of hair will come here from the top, from above the hair that we pulled to the back, so we can construct the elusive, impossible fucking braids that we got on this character. So the braid will be something like those ponytails that you see like this, except it will be like actually a braided hair. Think of this as braided hair. Thing goes here, goes there. We got like this thing. What else? We got like the string here, and then there is the rest of it. So I think this way, I think we have constructed something, and then the ahoge. So I think this way it will function somehow, and then we have like the end tail of it. We will put like balls like that thing that you have in like a Buddhist stuff. If you watch Naruto, for example, they have a lot of this. So we will have something like that before we transition to fuck that. We'll do something like this before like drawing like normal strings of hair. This being like a braided hair type situation. So this is what the chair will look like. With that all said and done, Let's get into the deep end. Oh, there is a weapon. Fuck the weapon, we're gonna deal with it later on. Should we draw in the same position? Let me cancel my sheet right here. So most of the sheets that I have in front of me, they do like this interesting thing. Instead of drawing them in T pose, they have the characters like this, extending this arm while this one is rested. So maybe we'll draw in that pose. Here we go. But hold on. We can't just go like that. I'm gonna duplicate this one. And I'm gonna use her as a measurement because I can't be bothered of making those from scratch again. Maybe we'll make her a bit bigger. Why not? Neck, the chest, the crouch, the knees. Yeah, this one is better. So this is the head. I think this is a good enough lockout. You know what? I'm just gonna lower the opacity, add another layer, and I think I know the title of this episode, what it will be. I should have never tried to do character design ever again. Uh, this is humiliating, man. I'm sorry for the silence, but I'm trying to at least just get it right. I have 5 minutes left before the time is out, and I unfortunately have to end this, even if it's not unfinished, because I have some stuff that I have to attend to. Should we? I think we should prioritize the balls first. No, it never reached. How did we do it here? Yeah, there's a problem here. So let's try to deploy the base first. We're kind of showing the balls crushing the the thing, those like puffed uh, pieces, flak windbreak or whatever thing the original material was supposed to be. Mm. We need a focus view on the hand, though. This is what programming in music did to me. Since I've been trying to learn those and I'm going all out on them, I've gotten a bit rusty on on the important stuff. But it's okay because I can bounce back from this. It is pretty easy thing to bounce back from something that you know, compares compare it to like something programming or music. I'm doing like a week in, week out with each one of them, and whenever I try to go back to the other, that I wasn't practicing for a week. I find it pretty difficult. So yeah, 1 minute left to spare. Let's draw a quick face. That is not how it looks like, but there is no time. The timer is almost out. That was bad, but we need a side view. It is urgent. So I still need references to like finish this up properly, not like in this like hideous way that I'm doing it right now. And the time is up. Fuck. So yeah, this is the final-ish version of it. I am willing to do multiple ones of these. I guess I'll track my progression through these sessions. But yeah, that was about it. Hopefully next time we'll do better. And yeah, thank you for attending this session. That was supposed to be quick, but I think it is more than 2 hours. So yeah, thank you all for hanging around. Thank you for watching, and as always, make sure to have yourselves a damn good one.